G'day, fellas. Welcome to the second day of the Global Championships. This is the $5,000 Global Championship for Age of Empires 3. The second day brings us the second game, or the third game that we're going to be witnessing now, and the very first game of this series between Mito and Azamk. Spawning in at the north of the map on the British is Mito on his color teal, and his opponent in the red, spawning in the south of the map with the United States. So this is actually a very, very interesting matchup. I'm incredibly excited to see that Azamk has picked the United States in a tournament setting. So this is a tournament for $5,000, and Azamk has said, you know what? I'm going to pick the United States. So the United States is, at the moment, considered to be a civilization that isn't the strongest, and we see already a pretty big mistake coming out here. So unfortunately, with the market start like this, what happens is the spawn of the turkeys that occur in the early game, they kind of spawn a little bit further out, because they probably want to spawn here and they can't, so the game makes them spawn here, and the turkeys spawned here. They walked away, and as they were walking away, Azamk unfortunately did a shift click, and now he's got to bring them back, and he's going to have to work so hard to get these turkeys back in underneath his town center. Let's take a look at the treasures on the map. We've got Azamk. Oh, we're running a little bit slow here. I might just speed it up and see if that picks us up in speed. It still looks like we're running a bit slow. You guys let me know. Oh, actually, no. I think the speed looks quite good now. Maybe a tiny little bit slower, but we'll take a look at the treasures, see what we've got on the map. So the map obviously being Florida. We've got a native warrior. We've also got pots of indigo worth 90 coin. We've got a 75 wood treasure, very nice for the British player. An 80 wood, very nice for the British player. A 40 coin treasure down here to the south. We've got the 135 coin. We've got a native scout treasure behind the base of A's. Another treasure, food treasure, and it looks like a war dog. Yeah, a stray war dog over here. So now we've got Mito moving out, picking up a couple of his sheep. We'll take a look at his perspective, because he's doing a great job scouting with his sheep. Now going to be opening up for this 75 wood treasure as well. And so getting down the trading post. Now, one of the things I remember from the first game of the last series between these guys is Mito's trading post didn't build because of the shift click bug. But I think that might have been fixed by now, because Mito is doing very well. Also getting the hunting dogs, so getting it quite nice and early, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so not too bad at all. He's going to be looking to try and do his best to take as little damage as possible from this alligator. We'll take a look and see if Ace knows about it. Ace knows about it, and he's going to take the crack shot with almost perfect timing. We managed to swap over to it. Ace now picking up that wood treasure for free, says, thank you very much. Mito just tips his hat to him and says, you do you, I'll do me. And they each go their own way. We've now got Mito heading up towards the north, and potentially going to pick up this 90 coin treasure. Maybe go grab this sheep as well. So that is a huge swing. We've got 150 wood a swing now, because 75 wood that was going to be belonging to Mito is now belonging to A's. So very, very nice play. We're going to have a look at their decks. A's obviously sending in the 3 Kuruda bar first. We're going to take a look and see what A's has got. Going with the deck NFAC. Not sure exactly what that means. But a huge Fortress Age agenda here. We've got the 5 standard cards in Age 2. No bank in Age 1. And then we've got the first Michigan Volunteer Sharpshooters coming out. So this is delivering 8 Sharpshooters, 8 Grey Trackers. Oh, do we have the Cree on this map? Sorry, I'm saying Cree. Cray. It's Cree. I apologize. This is curious. So now A's with the age up in Q going up with Virginia, which is almost considered very, very standard at this point for the United States. And meanwhile, we've got Virginia Company coming in for Mito. Obviously, dropping down that trading post indicates that he's planning to do some sort of shipment in the second age, or in the first age rather. A villager now moving forward, going to be placing down that forward manor. So a little bit of aggression. We take a look. 1 versus 1 warship is the name of the game. There is there's no combat card in H2 for the warships. Otherwise, looking relatively standard. Pretty decent unit shipments. Do have the Yeoman card in there, which has been in and out of people's decks. No refrigeration, no royal mint, no big upgrades. But manor house is now going down all over the map. You need 2 more food to train another settler, my friend. And we take a look back at Azamk's perspective. Both players looking like they're going to be aging up around... Well, I say they're around the same time, but I take that back because Mito is miles ahead of him. We'll take a look and see what he does. Now dropping down all of those... you hear those manors dropping down. Doing a bit more exploring over to the west of the map. I suspect that we're going to be seeing... Oh, the War Dog now moving in. Going to be scouting this out with Azamk. And I suspect going to be dropping down that barracks immediately. He didn't go up with the governor. He actually went up with the Philosopher Prince. Not what I expected. I didn't expect this. Probably should have called it. And what's going on here? Mito has the barracks, but I think maybe the Explorer was standing on it and his shift clicked it, and they've just moved back. Is that what's happened? Now the villager moving out. Is Mito gonna... Mito gets blocked again. Azam just being so cheeky. He knew exactly where to stand to do that. He's got the War Dog standing out over here to the right-hand side as well. And does Mito just given up? Mito's like, you know what? I didn't want to build the barracks out here anyway. He literally just gave up and he's like, fuck it, man. I'll build manor houses. It's okay. I don't want to build a barracks today. We've got Minutemen now coming out for A's. Oh, it's actually worked in his favor massively, because if he had committed to this barracks, it could have potentially been going down from the Minutemen coming out. So now the Explorer going down. A couple of cute little walls going down, trying to get this villager out, managing to get the second villager out. First villager is going to get taken down by the Explorer, who is giving him the snare, as well as Minutemen on the way. Ace doing a very, very cheeky Minutemen pop with the United States just before he ages up, sending them out. Also going to be going up with the 700 coins, so definitely got a Fortress Age agenda that he's looking to be achieved here. A little bit low on coin, though, Ace. You're going to be gathering a bit more coin there, my friend. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble sending in Virginia General Assembly behind this as well.
What is ready?
Oh, you know what? Ace has already thought about it. Just when you guys thought, oh, Ace, you're not macroing particularly well for your third age up, he's got a 135 coin treasure that he'd already thought about. This is big brain stuff. This is, like, he is so ahead of the game right now. He's feeling very good. Denying this FB really takes a lot of agency away from your opponent. Ace is going to be able to feel very good going up to the Fortress Age. No, there's not going to be much that his opponent can do. You see the opponent, Mito, now continuing to mana up. We've got 13 manas out on the field. These manas are much cheaper because of the card Virginia Company, which has come in. 700 wood was the third card being sent in by Mito. He's looking very nice and fancy in that teal color, getting in his steel traps as well. So from here, the 700 coin comes in, so not opting to go for those 5 settlers, which is normally what you'd expect with the British, and dropping a barracks in base. So curious to see that. Oh, and actually going for a stable, so potentially could be doing some sort of Age 2 all-in play here. Getting a few shots over off on the War Dog as well, just to try and stop the scouting that's happening behind his base right now. So going up with New Hampshire. Now keep in mind he's got Virginia General Assembly, so probably going to be researching statehood. We see Gangsaw now in queue as well, coming through for Azamk. And behind the base, taking out this treasure, just getting it into melee, sending in 700 wood behind this as well. Now, I'm curious, I don't know whether he actually researched statehood or not. I don't think he has researched it yet. Oh, okay, now we literally see statehood coming in. So this is going to increase the rate at his age up. So we can see he's now aging up at 6 minutes 40, so quite a decent age up time. Now the regulars are popping up, also going to give him a large stack of books, so an extra 300 experience that he's going to get off that. So decent mass now that he's got out. 700 wood coming in behind this. With this 700 wood, Ace is most likely going to be looking to place down 2 town centers, probably in a forward location. You can see that he's actually told his state capital to send them over here. So the state capital is what is going to be building those town centers. So the town centers are going to be created through covered wagons. And so now we see the first covered wagon coming out from the state capital. We see where Ace does decide to pop it down. He's got to be very careful, because if Mito sees it, he doesn't actually see it. So the armies of each player just sort of missing each other, and the flag going down on top. Now, I don't think Mito can see this flag. It's in the black of the desert, and we've got the timing push now coming in. We can see this is indefinitely a timing. Mito's actually worked it out quite well. 5 Huss in queue, missing the first 3 Hussar on the first batch. Chasing down villagers, but he's not going to spot anything at all over this side of the map. He's doing his best to do it, but unfortunately he's dodged almost every single villager. Had he unlocked the line of sight over here earlier with his Explorer, it would have been a different story, because he'd know that there's a whole lot of villagers potentially over here or in here around the base. So very, very nice job by Ace, keeping that safe. We take a look at Ace's perspective, putting up the 3rd town center now. Keep in mind, he has sent United States Marines behind this. So he is going to be potentially looking at getting out those Minutemen. You can see that he's macroing towards the Minutemen, probably going to be getting it down. He doesn't need this town center to have full HP. All he really cares about is keeping this town center alive. That for him is the most important thing. And now Mito moving forward with the British Musketeers. I would almost be tempted to say that this would, to me... Now we see the Minutemen getting popped. Do we see Culpeper Minutemen getting called from the home city yet? We've got all three town centers up. There they are. Culpeper Minutemen coming in right now, and Ace is going to be able to turn the table right here. Culpeper Minutemen now getting called. Veteran Marines are out for Ace. He's got a whole bunch of these out on the field now. He's got a total of 25 Veteran Marines out now. Very nice, crisp build order coming in from Ace, knowing exactly his timings and working this one out. These Veteran Marines are going to be doing a lot of work here. Look at the stats on these bad guys. 200 HP, 26 attack, and just shutting down this timing push completely. Very unfortunate for Mido. If he'd been able to, if he'd had his units over here and spotted this town center a little bit earlier, he would have easily cleaned this up. But unfortunately for him, it means that that Ace has been able to switch it over. We're going to just speed it up just a little bit because there's a little bit of a lull right now, and we're going to undoubtedly move towards some more action. We've now got some Minutemen snaring, a little bit of a to and fro that's going to be happening. The reason why I'm speeding it up is just because we're going a little bit slow, and I'm very cognizant of it. Now, keep in mind, as I slow it down, that the Veteran Marines have got very high siege, 55 siege damage. So look how quickly they siege through this. With 19 Veteran Marines, you're going to be doing 1,000 siege damage every single swing. A's now sending in the 3 Gatling guns. Gatling guns are going to be doing very well against Mido, especially considering he's in the second age. So his primary option against the Gatling gun in the second age is going to be the Hussar. He is massing them up. So taking a look over at his perspective, we'll speed it up a little bit, see what he can find. Now keep in mind, he knows that the town centers here are going to be spotting him out. So if we go back in, he should know that these Hussars are going to get spotted. Okay, so I think what he's doing is he's trying to gain some sort of leverage. He's trying to move the army around. He doesn't want the army to be pushing at this front. He just wants the army to be sort of like, you know, moving towards this angle. And now we see the Gatlings moving out. So Gatlings staying very, very close to this Carib settlement. The exact thing that they need to be doing. He knows that the Hussars are on the north side. Looks like he's going to be opening up the barrels, and the barrels open up first. 2, 3, 4, 5 musketeers going down. Needs to be careful here. Pulling the Gatling guns back. Very cheeky. Just gets off a nice single volley and taking out 5 muskets from his opponent. We've got a little bit of a tussle now. The Explorer on the back line here, just trying to work out what's happening. Take him out, Ace. Take him out. Give him the good stuff. Doesn't look like Ace wants to take him out. Now he takes him out. We've got some muskets being made as well, or some regulars, apologies, being made. 3 town centers are up. 3 town centers are making villages. So this is like watching a Portuguese player right now. 32 villages for Ace. We take a look on Mido's perspective. We see he's got 56 villages at the moment. So relatively, you know, it's I wouldn't say it's close at the moment, but he's got to be careful. What's he doing out here hunting? Now, Ace doesn't see this, but Ace could definitely be interested in going out and saying g'day. That's for sure. I tell you what, that was an absolutely beautiful opening that Ace did. Really nicely cleaned up. And to be honest, it just kind of comes down to the fact that the United States are new, and Mido probably isn't used to what Ace does in this matchup, because or what Ace does, full stop. Because this is always what I watch Ace do in his games. This is pretty much his go-to strategy. Now we got the big Hussar push coming up. 19 Hussars, probably going to be able to single-handedly just defeat this army. Not to mention the 23 Musketeers on the back. Minutemen being called. We've got villagers getting pulled into the mix. 3 Gatling guns on the back side. First one looks like it's about to go down. Second one, but at the same time, they're shredding through these Musketeers. There's a single Gatling gun that remains. Gets off the last volley before finally going down now. Now what I feel like Ace probably needed a few walls, because Mido's just absolutely crushing this. 14 Hussars, and they've got the Cav combat upgrade, or a Cav HP upgrade. 16 Musketeers, and it looks like in this position, it's almost certainly going to have to go. I'm just gonna fast forward it up just a little bit, but I can only suspect at this point that that Mido takes the victory here. We see quite a significant score lead at this point. 14 Hussars now. So a significant amount of Hussars, but we've actually got almost, it's like a little bit of a cleanup now. More Musketeers coming in from the back, going to be able to take out these villages potentially. 57 settlers. Musketeer attack now coming in. Ace is in a difficult spot. We take a look at Ace's perspective. He doesn't have anything coming in. He's sending in a factory. Doesn't really have anything else that he could send. I mean, he could be sending in 8 regulars at this point. I don't know what he's thinking, sending in a factory. I guess he's probably conceding that the game is over at this point. And I tell you what, I would be saying that the game is over at this point as well. So very well played to Mido. Mido taking the first victory there. Congratulations, Mido. Let me have a look. Mido, there it is. Let me fix that one up. Mido picking up the first game. Now, is that one inside that box? Do I need to shrink that down just a little bit? So, I talk about sort of what I would be doing here. I would be putting a box. You know, people have been talking about the box lately. What's the box? What's the box? The box. it is a box of walls. So you literally make like a wall segment here, a wall segment here, and a wall segment here. You stick your Gatlings inside this box. That's it. That's the play. That's how it works. That's it. Great to see A's having a bit of fun with the United States. We'll check the timeline. We'll have a look and see what we've got. We've got all resources gathered. Oh, geez. And they say British is a fair civilization. It's 12 minutes, and he's literally gathered 20k resources. 10 minutes, and he's sitting on 14k resources. Yeah, you're not going to be able to keep up with that. At 10 minutes, you're out-gathered by 6,000 A's. So a little bit of a tough matchup, definitely. And we have a look at the villager count there. We see the villager count climbing towards the sky. 58 villages. So, yeah, look, they talk about Sweden being the strong civ, but, tell you what, Brits are looking pretty darn good as well. Let's get on to game 2. Well played, Demaito, in the first game. Here we go. G'day, fellas. Welcome to the second game in the series between Mito and Azamk. Mito and Azamk. Just before we do that, you know what, fellas? I apologize. We're gonna run it again, just because we've got colors that are a little bit similar. So I'm gonna just be switching over those colors. You know what I might actually do? I'm gonna make it so both players are in the red color. This is gonna haunt me because eventually, if we make it so both players are in the red color, Mito always picks teal, so it doesn't matter what's gonna happen in here. Okay, there we go. Alright, I'm just going to fix up my sense as well. Just give me a second. Sense is like what we say in CSGO. Game options. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't my scroll speed be 0 and my camera acceleration be 40? Hold on. Pause. Sorry. No. Okay, apparently they move those two around. Because its camera acceleration is 0 and then 40% on scroll speed. Okay, there we go. That's what it should be. All right, that's looking a little bit better. All right, now keep in mind the chat that you saw at the beginning of the game just here comes in from the last game. Oh, wow, here we go. We can actually see the chat from last game. Mito saying, GG, what? Are Marines. Should have probably gone fort instead of Gatlings. They are. Your doom. Yeah, Minimans. They were scary. How do you get so many? But I rushed it a bit too much. There's a card which gives 6 per TC. I just stayed H2 and made units because I had no clue what was happening or how much pressure you could put on. GG out. There you guys go. Seeing a little bit of insight into the last game. I like how that actually saves what happened after the bell. So really cool to see the players having a nice little chat there between themselves and discussing the game, just as the same way that we would sit back and discuss the game here. Now, I'm curious, guys. I'm just going to double check. Are we able to do EGC TV? Am I a mod? I don't think I'm a mod. EGC TV, can you make me a mod for a second? Am I modded yet? Hello? I am a mod. I am not a mod. Donati out here unmodding Drongo. Is someone going to get banned? No one's going to get banned. I'm going to see if we can do a prediction, because I know that you guys love predictions. Now, you're not going to have a whole bunch of EGC points just yet, but let me see. We got Big Don in the chat. Don, are you able to do a prediction, Don? Oh, EGC TV saying I will do it. All right, wonderful. Is it predict? It is /prediction. That's what it should be. So it's /prediction is going to get you that option to do a prediction. I'll let EGC TV sort it out. All right, fellas, keep an eye on that chat. There might be a prediction that comes up, and we'll get on to the second game. There it is. There's the prediction. Get your points in. Get your points in. I'm gonna do a predict just because A's is playing the United States. I'm gonna put all my Drongo berries or all my EGC TV points on A's. I'm gonna go all in. 446. There we go. Casters showing a little bit of bias there. There we go. Get your points in. Get your points in. All right. Let's get to it. G'day, fellas. Welcome to the second game in the series between Mido and Azamk. In the first game, Mido was victorious, and we see him again spawning in the north of the map on the French. His opponent spawning in the south of the map, fighting out of Malaysia, it's Azamk. Spawning in the south of the map on the United States. Once again playing the United States. So Mido mixing it up, going with the British, instead of going up with the Brit... Oh, sorry. Did I say British? French. Sorry. Sorry. Apologies, guys. He's playing the French. He's playing the French. A's saying, now that I'm awake, you are doomed. Mido saying, yes. All right. So you guys know how it's going to happen. Now that A's has woken up, Mido saying, our last match proved that US is overpowered. There you go. There you go. Now dropping down a trading post. Opening for Mido. We'll take a look at what's happening over on the right-hand side of the map. So A's moving over, spotting that settler. Probably just trying to find some treasures before his opponent gets over here. Now, he knows that Mido could be going for a trading post, and that's probably why he's opted for this area. I talk about on this map there being quadrants, and we'll take a look and see which quadrant is the best. We've got 80 coin in this one, as well as the 40 coin that was just picked up by A's here. But if we take a look down at the south, there's 70 food, there is 3 stray sheep, and there's 70 food again. So this is definitely the best quadrant. So unfortunate that A's has gone out in this direction instead of going out into the other direction, but you never to know. You never to know. It's always a bit of a gamble. Always a bit of a gamble. And we'll take a look now. Picking up 80 food behind the base as well, so rushing this treasure down as well. He's not going to be bringing it out to the edge of the map. Sending in the French immigrants. We'll take a look at the deck, going with the same deck as last game called NFAC. It does have that interesting first Michigan Volunteer sharpshooter card that it's never really been seen before, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that this game reaches the 4th age, just so we can see that one card. He's now behind his own base. We'll have a look at his line of sight. See what exploring he's done. 30 coin. Now, take a look at the exploring that Mido, his opponent, has done. Because of that native scout, we see that he's uncovered almost all of the map. Mido now heading down to the south. Going to be aiming for this 70 potatoes. The 70 potatoes or the 70 cranberries, because they are wonderful treasures to take. Now, interestingly, these treasures are the same amount. So we've got the 70 food and 70 food. Black Bears, 150 HP, 10 attack, versus 115 HP of the Wolf and 9 attack. So despite there being a significant difference in health and attack of the Mother Nature Guardians, there is the same bounty. So who knows? Maybe that's something to look at. Maybe that could be a 60 food treasure. A little bit unfair. A little bit unfair. That's going to reset. That's going to reset. I can tell when that's going to reset, and I saw a reset coming right there, my friend. And now we've got A's moving in. This is absolutely terrible for Mido, because Mido is in a difficult spot because he's got a full health bear that's attacking him right now, and he's got a full health general that's attacking him right now. So getting right on top of him. Let's see if A's goes for this perfect snipe. We can see him working, getting away. Oh, doing the little fake out, doing the double fake out, trying to get that extra damage onto him and picking up the treasure. Let's see who gets it. I think it might be A's that gets it. Mido picks it up with the 70 food, and A's tries to get the snare onto his Explorer, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it off. 77 HP now on the Explorer. Even if he was, he'd be able to pull it away. He does have the native scout coming in, and I think, A's has probably just got to respect that. He's got to be Kaiser Kleining him from here. Kaiser Kleining is where you just bring your Explorer, you follow your enemy Explorer all the way and just shoot them. Very, very nice play by Mido, managing to get his Explorer out of there. And not lose it at all. Going up now with the Quartermaster, we'll take a look at Mido's deck. He's got a 1v1 deck. Got Wilderness Warfare in here, as well as Skirmisher or Team Ranged Infantry Attack. All 3 crates, heavy cannons in the 4th age. Pretty standard deck. No Mercenary card that we see here. No Refrigeration. No Royal Mint, which is always a potential inclusion. But yeah, definitely quite a standard deck. We'll take a look over at A's and see what he's doing, aging up at a similar time. Now, interestingly, Mido's actually gone for a 14 villager age up, but opened with a trading post. So we see quite a bit of chopping from him in the early game, because if I remember correctly, French start with 200 wood. And so he's gone 200 wood, and then chopped 100 wood, and then just gone up with 14 villagers. Mido now taking a second trading post. We'll take a look back at A's perspective, going up with Virginia and doing a market in transition. So maybe changing it up a little bit. Doesn't have those Spanish immigrants that are being more and more popular. I guess this was a game that was played relatively recently. It is on the new patch that we're on right now. Keep that in mind. And now we've got this settler for A's that's going to be doing a little bit of herding. We'll take a look and see if we've got any forward villagers coming out yet from Mido. Nothing yet. Maybe this villager here. This villager looks like it's going to be more forward than the usual villager. There's definitely no hunts here that are being hidden that he's looking for. So it looks like we might have a little bit of age 2 action. Curious if we can see A's respond to it. But look, take a look at this. TPs going down. No advanced trading posts. These are full cost trading posts that are going up right now, and almost without too much of a hassle. This villager could be placing a trading post down right here. I wouldn't be surprised to see that either. We've got the age up now, about to come through. We'll take a look and see what happens as the age up happens. 400 wood going to be popping down any second. There it is. And what happens now is only a matter that time will tell. 4 Kuruda bar coming in, so no 700 wood opening. We've got the barracks going down. Probably going to have the Explorer moving over to finish off this last trading post. We've got Stagecoach that's in queue. A shipment ready to send already, despite just putting that 4 villagers in queue. We'll take a look. 700 wood coming in next. What is Azamk up to? Azamk sending in the 700 coin from the home city, so getting that hunting dog upgrade, we see is gathering slightly faster than the villagers of an unupgraded settler. Take a look back at Mido. This is where the action is going to be. Mido now moving over to take out the some crossbows in queue. Interesting. I didn't suspect this. I honestly thought that we'd be seeing some muskets here, but if we take a look, we see 8 villagers on wood. This is quite a lot of villagers that are on wood right now. This is definite intent to be doing colonial play. Oh, sorry, commerce age play. The 4th trading post now going up. So Mido playing very greedy, but at the same time very safe. This is the thing about French. The thing about the playstyle for the French is that you can play greedy and aggressive at the same time. You've literally got Stagecoach. You know, you've got 4 TPs up, and behind it, you're still playing... I mean, it's not aggressive. I mean, he could be playing a lot more aggressive than this, but he's still, you know, he's thinking about making units. We'll say that much. It's not like he's investing 100% of his resources in there. Stagecoach now coming up. Both sides are going to be trickling in those resources. We see they're all on wood at this point. 8 crossbows going to be coming in from the back as well. So, A's definitely got a little bit of an ace up his sleeve with the United States. His opponent doesn't really know what's happening. We see the age up in queue now before 555 going up with New Hampshire. We've got the state capital coming out, which is going to be providing that big line of sight plus a 5,000 hit point building for him. Also going to be enabling him to get access to those very important technologies. We can almost guarantee that he's going to be going up with statehood. Statehood is one of those unique techs that the United States have access to. We'll see if Ace does manage to get it. He's quite early in the piece, so doesn't really need to focus on that. He's got to be careful, though. He's probably going to be losing out his Explorer here. Now, keep in mind, on the most recent patch, the Explorer for the United States only costs, or it's only a bounty of 45 now. Used to be a bounty of 100, so now it's only a bounty of 45. And now we've got Minutemen being called. Explorer being very carefully pulled back. Enemy Explorer going down. We take a look back over at Mido, see what he's up to. Mido is going fully all in with the wood, so sending the 700 wood behind this. Initially was sending the 8 crossbows. They now do come in reinforced. We hear what was going to be a racks getting placed down, now transitioning into a stable. So interesting that he's going 700 wood, and then all of these are on wood, and then also going to be dropping down a stable. It just seems that that's almost a little bit of overkill with the wood, I feel. I can't help but think he might be... With this, he might be floating a little bit too much wood, but we'll see how he plays it. We'll see how he plays it. Hunting dogs now coming in for Mido as well, doing a little bit of damage to the state capital on the front line. We'll take a look at Aze's perspective. Aze is already up to the 3rd age. I totally missed it. 3 Gatlings now coming in for Aze. The I don't know if crossbow pike is particularly offensive, particularly effective. That's the word I was looking for. Particularly effective against the United States, especially when you don't open pikes. Like if he had opened like 5-10 pikes, he could have had this down. And if you're playing the United States and you lose this in the early game, it kind of hurts, man. It really hurts because it's 300 XP that goes over to your opponent. You've got to rebuild that. That's a further 300 wood that you've got to do. Now, obviously, you get the XP for it back, but you just prefer not to have rebuilt it in the first place. It's a lot of resources. But now we've got the Gatlings about to pop out. We'll take a look over at Mido's perspective and see if he knows what is coming. You could suspect that he probably does because he is training Hussars. He's got all of his crates are now on coin, and we see the Gatlings move in, but Mido picking it up. He's not missing a beat. Skipping a beat, missing a beat. He's doing neither of those things because he gets away, doesn't lose a single crossbow, and he's got 20 crossbows out. Hasn't lost a single one. Now we take a look back at Ace's perspective, see what he's up to. Got that factory coming in. For anybody saying, oh, United States are overpowered, they get a factory in age 3. Yeah, they are. No. Well, this isn't the amazing factory that you guys are used to. It's just an unupgraded factory. So it's still really, really good, but it's not, the 7.15 resources per second. This is just the standard 5.5. So you don't get any upgrades, and you can't make heavy cannons either. But now we see A's beginning to lay waste to some of the enemy trading posts. The first trading post is going to be going down. Curious to see which angle he takes, but he needs to be careful, because if he doesn't take the angle immediately back to his Gatling guns, he's going to be in a bit of trouble. Deciding to shoot instead of to scoot, the first Gatling gun is almost certainly going to be going down. Units now getting on top of him, unable to block the second Gatling gun, also going to be going down. Third Gatling gun remains, and it looks like the Hussar are going to try and hightail it out of there, but A's now unfortunately losing 2 Gatling guns as a result of sieging down this trading post. Is that a worthwhile trade? Definitely a worthwhile trade for Mito. Not a worthwhile trade for A's, though. Feeling really bad after that one. Kind of had the wind kicked out of you, if you know what I mean. Like, it's just... You're feeling bad. You spent all your resources on that big shipment, and now you got nothing. Well, I mean, you got 1 Gatling gun, and it's enough to turn the tide of the battle if your opponent doesn't manage to kill it. But the problem is, with 20 crossbows, that's probably enough to brute force down your opponent's Gatling gun, unfortunately. So, yeah, not a bad trade at all there for Mito. Mito now sending in cav hit points. So I feel like Mito's almost doing the exact same thing that he did with Brits, but doing it with the French. A heavy H2 presence, really, you know, investing in that economy. With the French, he's gone with 4 Coureurs de Bois and with trading posts. With the British, he went with Virginia Company, but now doing that exact same thing. You know, instead of sending in the 700 coin, he's sending in hand cavalry hit points. And so got quite a decent mass here. 8 Hussars. These Hussars are going to be buffed up quite insanely. Now we've got 12 Hussars out. 4 more Hussars coming out. So a decent mass here for Mito now. This is quite a formidable amount, and I'm curious how the United States is going to deal with this, because this is a difficult spot. He sent a factory in, but this factory is going to take a while to pay off. And when your opponent is sending double military shipments in the second age, as well as a combat card, or a HP card, it's a difficult spot for you, mate. That is a difficult spot for you. Now we see the units begin to collide. We've got the musketeers, or the regulars, moving into melee combat, going to be able to push back those enemy units. A little bit of a circle micro. What's going on here? There's a circle, interesting circle coming out. The Hussar trying to move past, trying to get past, but A's doing a good job of scrolling over the Gatling very slowly. Gatling is going to go down. Villagers coming out as well, getting in on the action, trying to move in on top. Take a look at those villagers just getting in there, getting in their butts in the action. And when I say the butts, I'm not talking about their backsides. I'm talking about the butts of their rifle, because they get in melee and they do some damage. Take a look at that. Just one swing, boom, headshot right there with the villagers. And A's actually managing to hold on for his dear life with villagers, only losing a couple of villagers. It looks like 1 or 2 did go down. And going to be sending Irish immigrants. For anybody unfamiliar with the Irish immigrants, provides 2 villagers, and then it provides an additional 2 villagers for every 5 minutes the game passes once you send it in. So A's is going to be sending it in. It's going to be reaching at 10 minutes. So let's do some quick math. You start with those 2 villagers. Then you get an additional 2 villagers at 5 minutes, and an additional 2 villagers at 10 minutes. So it's going to be a 6 villager shipment for him. So not quite as good as the British 8 villager shipment that you've got access to in the Fortress Age, but still a decent boost to the economy. We've seen now A's is going to be dropping down some trading posts as well. I apologize if I'm focusing a little bit too much on A's. He is playing the United States, and as you guys know, I'm a big fan of the United States. Let's take a look back in on Mito, see what he's up to. Mito now sending in the 600 wood. Really sticking with this Age 2 agenda, not letting up whatsoever on A's. And I think in this perspective, like, if I'm playing from A's shoes, I'm thinking, you know what? My opponent isn't Age 3 yet. He's Age 2. I can just make regulars, and I'm going to be okay. I can just spam regulars, and I'm going to be okay. He makes cav, I'll be okay. He makes muskets, I'll be okay. If he makes crossbows, you know, I'll break even off that. So Mito is definitely no longer a part of the semi-FF gang with this kind of strategy. We see right here, so we've got the Hussars continuing to come out. Doesn't look like there's any indication that he's going to be aging up anytime soon. Inspiring Flag now going down over on the right-hand side of the map. This is going to have to commit to this area for the next 180 seconds, so the next 3 minutes. We see some pretty good trades here for Mito, for A's rather. We've got the 10 Minutemen that are called out, as well as some State Militia. Oh, a whole bunch of Hussars now moving onto the back line. He's got to be careful, though, because there are muskets or regulars that are moving to clear this out. They've been able to do that successfully. So I definitely say Ace is looking like he's in a pretty good spot now. Ace has managed to stabilize 26 villages, so not too bad. When it comes to economic shipments, that's about the best economic shipment you can really get. I mean, other than that, you can get the Russian-American company. It's a little bit slower. It gives you that 30% on hunted animals. And when you consider 30% on what are already villagers that are gathering with their steel traps, it's not a huge amount. It's not a huge amount. It might be like, it might work out to be maybe 3 or 4 settlers. It's not going to be ridiculous like the 6 settler shipment that we did see earlier coming in with Irish. And now a fort going up finally for Mito. Now keep in mind, Mito hasn't sent the United States Marine card. Remember in the last game, we did see those Marines with the high siege attack. We don't have the siege attack of this. We've got 5 siege attack, that's all. And now a little bit of a push coming in. A's changing his mind. Instead of sending through those, I think he was sending through a fort, now sending through musketeers. We see a little bit of slow motion, the Hussars. I think they might have, there's been a snare that's come out. That's why they're running so slowly. Microing back, trying to get volleys off on these units, or on these Hussars as he does it. We'll take a look and see. He gets another volley off. Doing quite well. Managing to take out a couple. We've got 13 Huss that are out now, as well as 16 crossbows. Reinforcing units coming in. A batch of 7 muskets, as well as 3 Huss that are coming in. And Mito sending in 700 coin from the home city. So the first coin shipment is going to be coming in at this point. Got to be careful of these villagers. That is enough units that are probably going to start one-shotting those villagers. So you got to be careful. But he's pulling him forward. He says, you know what? Stuff you, mate. You're going to attack me. I'm going to kill you with my villagers. And really Mito just taking the bait and saying, I'm going to kill those villagers then. Explorer almost getting the snare on the massive units, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to be successful. Huge mass here right now. This is a massive mass from A's. Looks like we've got those reinforcing veteran regulars that have come in from the home city. Remember, he did have a fort queued. Doesn't have that queued anymore. Villagers still getting in amongst the action. A couple of Minutemen on the back line, trying to get off that damage, soak it all up. We've got more regulars down here to the south. These are veteran regulars, so tanky boys, extra range on these bad boys. And A's getting his settlers once again amongst the battle. He knows how important it is for him to win this battle, and he's able to actually hold, and looks like he's going to be able to push out. We see a significant score lead that begins to climb in favor of A's, and this might be it. He has finally done it. My American brother playing out of Malaysia, so not actually American, but American in the sense that he's playing the same civilization that I'm so passionate about. And it's great to see that A's pushes out at the moment. Now, keep in mind, Explorer going down. Is that Explorer stuck? I don't think that Explorer is stuck. I think he just unfortunately revived at the wrong time. And it's looking like the United States is actually going to be able to pull this one out. Now, keep in mind, Mito is looking towards a macroing for an age up here. So, just when you thought Mito may have exited the semi-FF gang, he could have just been in the spending a little bit of time over at the delayed FF gang. Spent a little bit too much time in the second age. Going to be moving up. Got to get a potential raid over here. Losing at least one villager that's going to be going down. Second villager, third, fourth villagers all come into line of sight. That ain't the best. Oh, look at all those villagers out there now. Moving towards the army. We do see a fort now moving out. A villager, unfortunately, going down. Is he going to get a snare off with this regular? Doesn't look like he gets the snare off. Huge amount of villagers coming out of the town center now. Quite a decent mass of regulars that are built up. So we take a look. We see 29 regulars. This fort is going to be able to be placed down right on top of this. I don't think there's any way you're going to be able to keep these up. We'll have a look and see. Oh, A's actually placing it quite defensively. So saying, you know what? He hasn't even explored this side of the map. He's not concerned. He's just going to put it over on this side, protect this little coin mine in a great spot. So we see that A's is actually putting down the flag next to the fort. This flag is going to be increasing the construction speed of the fort by 50%. Now, keep in mind that doesn't double the speed that it generates, because that would need to be 100%. It increases it by about a third is what it works out. About 50%, I should say. So if it took 30 seconds before, now it takes 20 seconds. I think that's correct. Now we've got the next push beginning to happen. Mito going to be aging up here. We take a look at his villagers all over the map. We've got villages to the north, villages to the south. He hasn't really stuck with a single quadrant and stayed in it. Villages over to the west as well. Everywhere. So do we see those 2 falconets coming in? I suspect that's what we're going to be seeing. We do see the 2 falconets now coming in. Musketeers being trained. No veteran musk in queue. 19 muskets out. He's going to have 29 muskets. So going to be missing out on that veteran musket. I would suspect. Very unlikely for him to get it out with this macro. But we'll see how he goes. Probably going to be having to drop a barracks in base. And that is exactly what he's doing. So with this barracks, undoubtedly going to be... Yeah, we see him actually doing a bit of market trading just to get that veterancy upgrade now. Also training some dragoons, interestingly. I don't think this is probably the appropriate unit. Doesn't... I guess this shows Mito's unfamiliarity with the United States. You don't make a lot of cav. You really don't make a lot of cav. There's pretty much one cavalry option that you've got as the United States, and it is... Well, let me just put it this way. You're going to need more than 2 dragoons to deal with it. And it is actually the Pulaski's Legion, which is coming in right now. So good to see that there's a little bit of a switch up coming in. I do like this timing coming in from A's. My primary concern is that there's no Dragoons out here. And, you know, I would be a crazy caster to suggest that someone shouldn't be making Dragoons against the United States. I'll say that much, because the United States has got a lot of powerful cavalry options, including the Pulaski's Legion. So you've got to pay 500 wood, 500 food for this one, and this is going to give you 12 Chapka Ulans. Now, these Ulans are not your average Ulans. These are consulate Ulans. And if you know anything about consulate Ulans, it's that they've got an extra 10% stat. So it actually works out to be a bit more. It's about 15% stat. And now we've got a bit of a problem, because we've got Falconets on the back line firing off and catching A out of position. He doesn't have a trading post that's nearby. The closest thing he's got is this fort, which needs to be sending out. I think he's actually going to be okay. But it's definitely going to be doing a little bit of a chase now. This isn't the best thing for Ace. Ace was looking in a very dominating position, but now he's got a problem, because these Falconets are going to be clearing out most of his units before his Legion manages to arrive. So he needs to get these Legion down here immediately. Ace losing a lot of units now, falling down to 17 veteran regulars when he had almost 35 veteran regulars. And Ace just saying, you know what, I kind of lost out a little bit. But here, now we see a bit of a raid coming in. Town Center also getting trained. Town Center wagon, covered wagon coming out for Ace. A market getting thrown down. So just doing it, trying to split the distance with Ace. Mito now evening up the score a little bit. Less than 1,000 points difference between the two, and the skirmishers are out on the field. This is where it becomes difficult for the United States player, because the regulars that we talked about earlier in the game are no longer as potent as they once were, because skirmishers are a very hard counter to them. We've now got the Chapka Ulans moving out. Let's take a look and see where there's a big raid down here to be found. Ace is heading right towards it as well. Now, he doesn't know about this. He just knows that there's a coin mine in this area. He actually sees the villager with the stagecoach. There's no other action that's happening down here, and he's moving everybody up here to focus down this. Let's see if he can get some quick walls down. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to get them down. Looks like the first village is going to be going down, and a whole bunch of villages on the north side as well. So we've got 4 villages that looks like that are going to be going down, as well as a skirmisher, and 3 Ulans taking down that single villager. More Chapka Ulans being trained at the fort. Now, keep in mind, they train very slowly because they're mercenary units. It looks like a couple skirmishers managing to get away from the Chapka Ulans with their lives. And now we've got a bit of a push happening. Mito saying, you know what? I've had enough with this American douchebag. I'm going to take him out. And going straight for the throat. Going around that fort. Now, he obviously knows that that fort is there, because he's sending units in and they're getting focused down by the fort. Looks like they're also going to get cleaned up potentially by the regulars. Chapka Ulans and moving down towards the south side. Mito doing some very cute walls, managing to get 8 Coureurs de Bois out because of these walls. So really, really nice play. Now the fight begins on the south side. We see the town center is focusing down the Falconet. The problem with having your Falconets too close to the town center is that the town center is going to be able to take them out. So you've really got to make a decision. If you're going to go for the town center, you go for the town center. Otherwise, keep them back. You want to keep them back over here. Otherwise, you're losing all of these hit points for free. Ulans finding another villager now. Managing to take this down to 59 hit points. So doing not a bad job. This is a very low HP Falconet. 2 of the Falconets, 99 on this one as well. Geez, where did all this damage come from? He potentially got a shot off or a volley off with some militia or something. And now we've got some problems, because there are 4 Consulate Ulans, 48 damage on how many Coureurs de Bois is that? That's 8 Coureurs de Bois. 8 Coureurs de Bois now. It was 9. 5 Dragoons also coming out. A's doing some work here. Second town center going up as well for A's. So he's got a lot of line of sight across this map. It doesn't really matter if he loses this base. His primary concern would be losing this factory at this point. Got some more Chapka Ulans that are out. This is a huge amount of Chapka Ulans that are just running around everywhere. He's got 16 out on the field right now. Really nice play from A's. He's got 20 idols at the moment, though. That's going to be an issue for him. Still focusing down these Falconets with the town center. The town center's got 5,500 health left. He's not going to be able to focus them down. He's really just got to sort of clear out these houses. Chapka Ulans just focusing, or just chasing vills everywhere. Sticking Ulans on every single part of the map. Take a look down at the south now. Picking up some more villages. This is a huge raid. Those are villages, right? They look like villages. They are villages. How many villages have we got Mito on? Mito's down to 25 villages at this point. A little bit of a fight now happening back in the base. Both of the Falconets going down. Minutemen being called as well. We've got the Chapka Ulans coming in from behind to do the snaring, as well as the Explorer, who says, you know what, I'm going to take you guys out personally. More Chapka Ulans on the back line, and I think this looks like a cleanup in the favor of A's. I've said that once before in this series, and I'm going to be saying it again. It looks pretty good for A's, but I'm not calling it just yet. 39 villages compared to the 24. Looks like he's a little bit ahead at this point. 6 Ulans going to be doing some work, moving them back just to keep them safe. Flag now going down for Azamk as well. Not sure if this is the best place to be flagging, because You're just going to be walking through this. It's a bit of a walk-through flag at this point. And taking out, doing very nice micro there from Mito. Just getting all those rifles off and very, very nice shoot and scoot. Just one shot, two shots. Taking out 3 Chapka Ulans right now. Managing to get the snare and taking out both of them. The final Ulan is about to go down, so losing 6 Ulans essentially for free here. Only taking out 3 Musketeers, so not the best trade. And now we see the Dragoon mass begin to build 14 Dragoons. These Dragoons were needed like 2 minutes ago. If he'd had these Dragoons out 2 minutes ago, it would have been a completely different story. And Mito saying my APM XD. A's saying 21. Giving him a little bit of the laughter. We've got 8 skirms now coming in from Mito. Mito sitting down on 26 villagers. We see a 4k score lead now coming out for A's, so pretty darn decent. Veteran State Militia moving up. We see 15 State Militia now. These are going to be countering both the muskets as well as the Dragoons in the army of Mito. But now we've got more Dragoons running in and some skirmishers, so he is looking to move into that skirm-goon composition. Some people would refer to it as botting. I'm not going to say that. He does have Musketeers in here as well, and a bit of a raid on the top side. A little bit of a GUA raid right there. More Chapka Ulans coming out, and finally reuniting now A's with the 21 regulars and the 15 State Militia on the front line. Looks like he's going to be in a pretty decent spot here, but still able to hold on. 5 more Chapka Ulans coming out, as well as the Springfield Armory being sent in from the home city. So going to start getting his upgrades in now. He hasn't got anything in queue just yet. We'll take a look at that and see whether he gets anything in. And A's just doing a great job to hold on. Up now, 6k score lead, doing a great job of microing, mixing these units in towards each other. He's got the regulars as well as the State Militia on the front line. Going to be soaking up all those damages from all that damage rather from the skirmishers. And it definitely looks like Ace is going to be able to clean this up, especially underneath the fort. And Mito gives it up and says, you know what? I had enough of it. Congratulations. Everyone who was faithful for A's on the United States. You've been successful. What a game. Well played by both of the players. That was, at multiple points throughout this game, it kind of looked like it could have gone both ways, especially down here when all of the units were caught. You know, if that had been Sweden, I would have seen a nice charge out, a complete snare, and it would have just been game over at that point. He would have lost his entire mass. He just rolls over his base. But unfortunately, with the muskets being the same speed as the regulars, it means that unfortunately he's not going to have the cojones to take it home. Let's take a quick look at the timelines just to show you guys what we were playing with. We'll take a look at all resources gathered, and it's no surprise to anybody, but a significant outgathering there from the French player. I don't know what you would say, but that is impressive to see. A's managed to win that despite gathering 10k less resources. So I mean, he's just got to be taking good trades, right? That's like. That's got to be it. We'll take a look at 10 minutes. Where's the 10-minute comparison? That's normally what I go by. The 10-minute comparison is a good indicator. So 11.7k versus 8k. So about 3k difference at 10 minutes. And we'll take a look at military unit population. So relatively even throughout the game. Pretty big mass here for Mito when he pushed in. Very nice swing there for A's. So I think is that the Gatlings? No, that's not the Gatlings. I don't know what that is. That's 13. Oh, that's the fight underneath the town centers. And then finally, we take a look at villager count and have a look at this. This is a dastardly one. In the early game, there was some swings towards Mito, and then look at the late game. This is you can tell when the Ulans come out. You can tell when the German part of the United States comes out because it's right here. 41 villagers down to 24. Holy shit, that is a lot of villagers lost. All right, I think it's time to move on to the third game. What do you guys say? You know what we might do just before I do it? I'm going to restart my game just quickly, just because that was a little bit of a longer game. So we'll do that. We'll do get the game restarted. I'm also going to go downstairs. I'm going to grab another Red Bull. This will be my third Red Bull for the evening. God, Drongo, you got to watch out, my friend. Going to change that score over. So we've got 1-1 apiece. Hopefully that is looking all nice and aligned. How is the UI, guys, as well? I would like to know. Is it there everything that you can see? It's not too big. It's not blocking out too much of what you should be seeing, I hope. And I'll be right back. Just give me a moment. Just going to go grab a drink while we wait for the game to start. I'll put on some music in the ad break for you. All right, we are back. Now, for anybody looking to donate to COVAX, working to ensure equal access to COVID vaccinations in the developing world. So there you guys go. So EGC TV, got the donate button up there. Now, keep in mind if you do donate, now that's not going to be shown on stream. You're not going to see that. If you're looking to say something silly, funny, then it won't get shown. Now, in addition to some Red Bull, I've also got some cheese. Got that delicious cow cheese. That is good cow cheese. Red Bull and cow cheese. Name a more iconic duo. Oh, wait. Random fact. The founder of EGC TV has a lifetime record of 1-0 versus H and has officially retired from top-tier competitive action. There you guys go. There you guys go. That's an actual true fact as well. Not like those fake facts. Alright, almost finished my last cheese, boys. Those little cheese triangles, you know the one? They're called Happy Cow or Laughing Cow or something in Australia. Who is the founder of EGC TV? I think I've got some pictures. Just give me a sec. He's, you might know him. He's been around in the community for a little bit. Let me see if I can pull up his photo here. Oh, yeah, there we go. So I think I put that one on. You should be able to see this now. Alright, that one should be showing up for you. So that's him there. The founder of EGC TV himself. Quite a handsome fella. I actually met him. I think I've got a photo with him as well. Let's have a look and see. Oh, yeah, here. This is a photo. This is us at the official very first show match. This is oh gosh. This is me right here. And that's EGC TV, the guy behind EGC TV. There you go. Fuck, dude, at least choose one of my good picks. Sorry, man, sorry. I know we're both getting on. We're both getting a little bit older. Getting a little bit older. So that's him. That's the founder of EGC TV. We had a fight that ended our relationship. That's sad. Wait, did we actually? All right. Let's move into the third game in the series. And we'll turn off the music. All right, we pause it. We're just going to take a look at the chat last game. I want to see. Here we go. Here we go. GG. Just felt like I would tell my units to do something, probably stayed 2 for too long, and then I would look back a minute later, and they didn't do it. So I just must be bad. Dude, I feel this so much. I feel this so much. Also, I don't know how third Gatling survived. Nah, the H2 was bad, but it was fine. My army was way better. Not the game's buggy code. I just wasted so much time and let you kill so many vills for no reason. Yes, you kept on pushing separately with us. Or rather trying to raid. That didn't matter. I wouldn't win the fight anyway. I guess. Vill's pretty strong. I didn't really lose anything with them. Yes. Out. GG oot. There you guys go. A little bit of insight into the minds behind the show match. Alright. Are you guys ready? I don't even know what this map is called. Can somebody in the chat tell me what this map is called, please? I want a time check for Australia or for Drongo. At the moment, it's 4:15. Cracking open that third Red Bull. There we go. This is called Dakar, says Wicked Cossack. Thank you very much, Wicked Cossack. All right, I hope you guys are ready. G'day, fellas. Welcome to the third game in the series between Mito and Azamk. The score is 1-1, with each player taking a victory. In the third game of this series, we're going to have Mito playing his China on the color teal, spawning in the west of the map, and his opponent, Azamk, spawning on the east of the map, with the color red. I'm saying, oh, and I'm noticing, oh, we actually have the A's UI now, so that's good to see. Now, take a look how close these two players are. Now, in both previous games, Azamk played the United States. Now, with the United States, you can put down a flag as the United States, but you can't do it within a close proximity to a town center. I have a suspicion that this is so close to your town center, or your town center and your opponent's town center, you couldn't get a single flag down here. It just wouldn't be possible. You'd have to delete your old town center. So this is a map that you will probably be unfamiliar with. We are on the map Dakar, or Dakar. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, so I do apologize. It's a custom map. I haven't seen it before, so we're going to be exploring it together. We'll take a look from Aze's perspective and see what he's up to. He's over on the right-hand side, dropping down that trading post, playing the Portuguese. Looks like he's going to be opening with a 10-10, so curious to see. Nice elephant mass as well. That's 3,000 food that's right there. And we'll have a look. He's got a 40 wood treasure in base. He's got a 50 coin treasure behind. 50 food he's already taken the shot of. And a geological survey showing promising ore veins. I love this treasure as Sweden. Always feels good to know where all the coin mines are. We've got some gold mines at the north. We have the Chinese explorer of Mito picking up all of the treasures. So we take a look at Mito. We see 80 coin has been picked up, or 80 coin over here. 20 XP. A wounded tiger that can be tamed, as well as a 50 coin treasure and an 80 wood. So do both players have the 80 wood treasure? No, it's only Mito that's got the 80 wood treasure behind his base. Has he found that? He's found it now, and he's coming back for it. Definitely looks like he's moving towards it. We see the explorer here, but he's got a yak over here. He's not moving it. You got to get that yak moving, my friend. Now, obviously, in addition to that, guys, one thing that I haven't mentioned yet is that there is a sea. Now, seas are a little bit controversial. Oceans are controversial things. Some people think that they don't have enough resources. Some people think that they do have enough resources. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a resource count on this one. Now, I see one whale over here. I see a second whale, a third whale, a fourth whale, a fifth whale, and a sixth whale. So I would say with regard to resources in this sea, there are plenty. I would say that is a lovely amount of... A lovely amount of resources that are in this sea. Now, obviously, both players have gone different civilizations, with one specifically going to be focused on going for a water strategy. But what we see is Ace has picked Land Z. So not even going for a toxic water strategy. He's actually no schooners, no advanced dock, no warship combat card in here. We take a look over at Mito's side. We'll have a look what he's doing. He is sending in, at the moment, northern refugees. Now, he's got 1, 2, 3. He's doing the strat. He's got 3 villages that pop down, so he's going to be getting, this is a 4 villager shipment right now, coming out from Mito. And there it comes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So getting great value out of that shipment now for Mito. We take a look back at A's going up with the quartermaster. No dock being dropped down, or at least not yet. I'm curious what we're going to be seeing out of A's. I would suspect that we're not going to be doing some water booming. We see A's just coming over and just taking the 15 XP from the tiger. He knew that he wasn't going to be able to reach the treasure in time, because you could see from the position of his explorer. So what he did was he sniped the tiger. That way he gets, 15 XP. It's a 30 XP swing. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So that was quite a lot of chopping from Mito. I probably should have been taking a look at the build order a little bit more carefully and seeing what he was doing, because that's actually quite an interesting build order from Mito. I think it's when you get an early wood treasure, he feels comfortable to be able to do that. And obviously picking up the 80 wood treasure behind his base meant that he was very able and willing to do that. The wild elephants here really feeling good as well, picking them up. 1,000 food. I wish all hunts were like this. This feels great. And now we've got the Summer Palace going down. So a little bit of awkward positioning for the villagers for Mito. One of the things I learned from Dairuga, for anybody unfamiliar with Dairuga, a professional by any sense in the competitive scene. And he told me with China, what you want to be doing, Drongo, is you want to be putting the Summer Palace at the front of your base. It's very big, it's got a lot of health, and it's not really that useful. I mean, it's useful, obviously. It's got a use. But if your opponent sieges it, it's not a big deal. But villages, they're kind of important, especially if your opponent is going to be going a racks opening like we see A's doing now. Sending in the 700 coin behind this, so starting with a 10-10, dropping down that town center, probably as close as he can get it. Both of these buildings, I suspect, would be as close as he can get that. And now we've got a little bit of action that's going to be happening. The 700 food going to be coming in as well. So going back to back to back, and A's. Oh my god, A's with the delivering one explorer in the second age. I hadn't picked this up. I was just surprised that we didn't see a toxic, disgusting water deck. A's getting out some of the strategies. Now, Mito is scouting this out. Mito sees the barracks already built at 4 minutes 20, so he knows it's on. most likely going to be losing at least one of these villages, probably even twice. These villages are quite far out. Not meta anymore, says Azamp. So yeah, village placement's definitely going to be one of the more curious things to see whether that gets punished. I would have liked to have seen a village here on the inside, maybe a village here, and then maybe this village here would have been fine, and then this would have been out here. Now, obviously, that's in perfect scenario. Like, we're talking about a guy who's got 3 villages down in the early game. He's trying to do his best to macro for those extra settlers from that shipment. And we've got A's with a random villager just chilling out up here. I don't know exactly what he's doing. Probably the best resource he could find. Pike's now chasing in some of the villagers, forcing them to come back. Say, come on, get inside the village. You're not allowed to gather, lady. Now we've got the 8 CKN coming in from the home city. It's going to be able to give him just a little bit of presence. War Academy also going to be going down. Probably not the first shipment that he wanted to be sending, but he's definitely in a good position to be able to do this. Just primarily because the main thing is that you've got to keep in mind that he has got that extra villager, so he's happy to stay in the second age and fight it out a little bit because he's got that extra resource, and it just allows you to sort of leverage your ability to stay in the second age for a bit longer when you've got that extra villager. So now we've got the 3 crossbows going to be coming out as well. Is he going to be... Okay, he gets the 5th one in queue as well. We've got the trade card coming out. So behind this, despite not even having ATP in the deck, taking the entire trade route and sending in the 600 wood behind this. So really working out this build order. He knows what he's up to. I love this crate rush. I feel like crates probably even need to be nerfed. Can we see a nerf for crates? Can we see 700s reduced to 650 and the 600s reduced to... I mean, you probably just keep them at 600. Let's see the 700 resource crates get nerfed down to 650. That's what I'd like to see. That'd change the meta up a little bit. Because this is very, very standard that you see, where 3 resource shipment crates just sort of come out. I just like nerfing Portuguese. I know Age of Killer's probably in the chat. He would hate to see that. So we don't actually have the House of Bragança card for the Portuguese. So Portugal have access to a card called House of Bragança. And the card is going to enable you to get a train in Age 2 for your TP line. But we're not going to have access to that because it's not in the deck. We take a look back at Mito's perspective. He's got 4 villagers in queue right now, so definitely want to be focusing on his economy. Sending in the Kyung Pikemen as well. So we've got the Kyung Pikemen as well as the Chukonu. And the 2 caravels getting shipped in between the 2 little ponds. Now, I don't know if there's any mobility in here, but I would be suspecting that there probably isn't. If this was Age of Empires 2, they would be able to traverse this. But I don't think that they can in Age of Empires 3. So very, very cheeky. I didn't expect this at all, and I don't think Mito did either. We can see that he hasn't really lost anything to it, just a bit of pressure. So no traversal at all going to be able to happen between here. So these are sort of stuck. But I guess that really tells Mito, I know what my opponent's up to now. Now I guess the question is, now Aze is playing this very aggressively. Okay, he's put out a lot of units at this stage of the game where we normally wouldn't see this many units, especially from the Portuguese player. Normally we'd be seeing a lot of docks, but this map is particularly conducive to having docks. Now, you might be able to get a dock down here. Now, if you could manage to sneak a dock right here, actually, you know what? You probably couldn't. The town center's way too close. There's no real middle ground here. Like, the best spot you're probably going to get is like a dock down here, but nonetheless, we do see the trading post now going down, so the Kyung Pikemen managing to manage to take it out before the pass even happens with the trade cart as well. We'll take a look back at Mito's perspective, see what he's up to, sending in the 700 coin now, macroing towards that Age 3. He's got 6 villagers on wood, still chopping and beginning to eat those yaks. Managing to now get out some step riders as well. These step riders coming in from the standard army. Pikemen now going to be able to fend them off, and Wang Lang doing a great job snaring. It looks like he's training up some disciples. He is indeed training up disciples. It looks like he's going to get taken out anyway. Oh no, well, now we got a bit of a mistake. Now, if Aze spots this, we are going to see this punished. Oh, this is terrible right now. Do we see villagers move forward for this? I want to see villagers move forward for this. This should be punished completely. Is Aze giving him a freebie right here? I feel like Aze is giving him a freebie. Aze could be pushing into this right now and could be preventing this from gathering. Oh no. This is... I'm not sure if Mito realizes yet what's happened and that he sent the coin. He's not moving any villagers up there to collect it. Now, he really isn't punishing it. I would love to be seeing some forward villagers coming now, especially because the mass for Mito is quite big. And he can stick in here and have these caravels really prevent any sort of fight happening from here. So I'm not sure. Maybe Aze just hasn't put 2 and 2 together just yet and seen that. Or if he has, he's maybe just made the decision that it's not worth going for. Maybe just let Mito. He's already made that mistake. Let's not punish him anymore. We want a fair game. We want a good game. So let's do that. So we definitely see that A's did have line of sight there. So he does know that those exist. And now moving again to the north, Mito is looking to get some damage out on this trading post. Looks like the trading post is probably going to even go down because the Caravel's unable to get in range. Now, if he picked Inca on this map, the Incans would be able to get that in range. You'd probably be able to take this trading post, set it up as a tambo, put down your 2 war huts, one here, one here. To be honest, it's so close, you'd probably just walk them. Be a lot easier, wouldn't it? And then have your Chincharaffs sitting here. Chincharaffs on both sides would be just toxic. I love the Chincharaffs. Gosh, this map is actually quite nice. I do like the design of this map a lot. I do like how the pools, like the shallows, are in here like that you can't always... You can not necessarily traverse them, but now we do actually see this village is potentially going to be going down. I did speak earlier in the game about the placement of the village. There was one thing that concerned me, a villager almost looking like it was going to get taken out there. There's 2 villagers inside this. They need this coin. No, they don't need the coin. He's got enough to get the Age Up in Q. Age Up in Q going up with the Confucian Academy. It's going to be providing him those arc boosters as well as a continued rolling free flying crow. Flea? Did I say flea? I meant free flying crow. Now the Caravel's going to be moving forward to try and defend this. 5 Hus also coming out from Azamk. Going to be trying to clean this up, but a pretty decent mass here from Mito at this point. He's done very well to macro this all together because if we take a look at Azamk, Azamk isn't going up. Azamk is fully invested into the second age. At this point, Explorer going down. He's fully invested into the second age, but still behind this, Mito's Chinese, he's famous for his Chinese, is able to hold on just with his own unit shipments and his own unit production, despite that getting to age 3 in the queue. So going up with the 7 villages as well. So this is going to be quite an accelerated unit mass that he's got. But the thing is, we've got A's pushing in at this point. Scores look even, but I feel like at this point, Mito is miles ahead. I don't know why I feel like it. I don't know, it's just something just tells me that Mito is just miles ahead at this point. I guess the age up in queue, as well as not losing his mass and having quite a decent mass himself. And when you consider where A's isn't even close to aging up. A's is going for economic theory at this point. A's, I think you need to do a little bit of theory of your own economics at this point, because I tell you what, you're looking a little bit out of fashion, my friend. See scores getting relatively close. And from here, it's going to be difficult because Mito is going to send in the fusion. Once he's got the deck is called 1v1 A's. I just realized we didn't even check out the Chinese deck. Let's have a look just quickly. He's got the team improved warships in there. That really hurts to see. You'd love to see that as improved warship. We've got fusion there. Does he opt to send the fusion? I'd do it. Just a little bit of market trading, get that fusion in nice and early. Just stuck. You see the flag. You know the fusion's coming. Oh, come on, bring it in. Put it in. Let's see it. Give it to me, daddy. Where is it? Got nice little micro coming down. British allies coming in as well. More Hus coming in, reinforcing Hus. And the Pikes on the front line just doing everything that they need to do. I feel like at this point, is Mito... I wouldn't say he's throwing, but this isn't a fight that you're going to win, A's. Like, well, I guess from his perspective, it doesn't look that bad, but I guess... You know, A's is sending in fencing school. A's, what are you doing to me, A's? You can't be playing like this. A's, this is a tournament for $5,000 and you just... Sending in fencing school at 12 minutes? Come on, Ace, get it together, son. The classic economic theory into fencing school play. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. And at this point, Ace is looking like relatively good. He's spread out his crossbows. He's got them in stagger mode. He's taking out a couple villagers. Managing to take out one villager here, a second villager here. We do a villager count. We're at 40 villagers versus 30, but keep in mind, we've got 2 unit-producing buildings that exist for the Chinese player. And now the 5 Meteor Hammers popping down on top of A's army. Going to clean it up. And I feel like from this point, it is... that's all she wrote. Honestly, I felt like Mito was a little bit ahead before. But, you know, something about fencing school just tells me that it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough getting those units out slightly faster. And now we do see the pikeman training. This is pikeman training at very, very fast speed right here. This pikeman is being brought to you by fencing school. Pikeman. 5 pike now coming out. Looks like he's going to be able to catch them. If he hadn't had fencing school, he wouldn't be able to catch these cavalry units that are moving in. But because he's got the fencing school, he's able to get them in. Incredible play from A's. Wonderful foresight. The fencing school is doing absolute work here. We see. Oh, never mind. The pikes got cleaned up. And so now we've got Town Militia being called in from the home city. A little bit of a push. Looks like it's going to be posturing with Mito. Mito sending in the 7 hand mortars. Probably a pretty good choice here. The hand mortars are going to be very easily able to deal with the caravels. The problem is, if you ship a fusion into here, it dies. Why does it die? Because the caravels shoot it and then the town center shoots it. He can't do anything about this. Like, you look at the range on this, there is no way that fusion survives. So how do you get rid of this? Well, you use hand mortars. So Mito using the big brain strategy as well, right there. Just impeccable macro from Mito. Really, really nice macro. Sorry. Losing my mind a little bit. Let me take a swig of the Red Bull, fellas. All right, there we go. 7 hand mortars going to be coming out. Now we take a look at the hand mortars. Have a look at their stats. We can't actually see them because they haven't laid themselves down just yet. But I do believe they've got a bonus against ships, buildings, and artillery. Ships, buildings, and artillery. Indeed, they do. Almost one-shotting that caravel right there. But they're going to be going down 100% because there's 34 range on the hand mortars. So they do outrange the town center. The town center's got, I think it's 32 range. So we see here 32 range. So the hand mortars are going to be able to just very slightly outrange the town center. So going to be able to take this down now. The caravel's moving in. It looks like he's going to be aiming to get a broadside shot off on the first hand mortar. The second mortar, let's see if he gets a broadside shot off on that. Focusing on the one down on the back line. 2 of them are very low hit points. He gets a double, baby. It's the double. And the 2 hand mortars going down. So taking that hand mortar shipment from a 7 hand mortar shipment to a 5 hand mortar shipment. Not a huge amount, but definitely going to be, you know, it all adds up, doesn't it? It all adds up when you're talking about the level of these players and the way that they're playing it out. We see a significant score lead now for Mito, pulling ahead by about 3k score, 3.5k score. Pretty decent. XR Prince going up for A's. So he'll be up at about 15 minutes. So a little bit slow, I would say. All of the villagers now coming back out. So these villagers were sitting in this town center waiting for units to come in, but they just never really made it in. And Mito going for a bit more of an interesting approach. So sort of like going for the trade line and burning it down. I don't know if he'll extend all the way up here, but instead of opting to go for like the throat, he's more just coming around. I think he might go after some of this infrastructure in the middle. Probably a nice move instead of going after the Portuguese town centers. There's not a whole lot that he could really be doing here other than that. So now taking the trading line for himself, we see that Mito is putting up the trading posts on the back line. Wang Lang is getting in on the trading post action and going to be going for this 4th trading post. So really saying, you know what, I'm committing to the long game. I'm going to play it safe. Definitely looks like he's moving in that direction. We'll take a look and see if there's any villagers up here in the Fog of War. No villagers up here. And this map is just beautiful. I absolutely adore this map. I don't know who made this map. Does anyone know in the chat who made this map? This map deserves props because it is absolutely beautiful. A real stunning map. I love to see it. Plenty of resources in the fish as well. So Breeze Brothers is going to be happy with this map. Push the Wood in the chat saying Vividly Plain is the one who made this map. Well, Vividly, this one goes out to you, mate, because it is absolutely gorgeous. I'd love to see more of this map. Maybe if we can move these town centers back just a slight bit, or maybe make the map a little bit bigger, because they do spawn quite close. I'm just worried about my United States, that's all. And now we've got the town center that's going to be potentially getting sieged by Mito. A's moving in, and we've got the hand mortars that are moving in. Now, A's probably didn't even know that Mito was in this position. He thought he might have been heading back around the other way. All the cavalry is going to be enough to chase back the Hussars. Now, these are veteran Hussars. The upgrade just came in. We've got conscription being called from the nearest town center. The 3rd town center did go down. We've got some sieging happening on the back line, and now the conscription gets called. All the Minutemen popping out. We've still got a pretty decent mass here from the Chinese player. Units are running in on top. He's just trying to get out of here. He just wants to keep these Hussars alive. We'll see if he's got any more reinforcing units and more Minutemen getting called. I think we just heard. Also, 8 veteran halberdiers getting called from the town center, or from the home city. Looks like he might actually be able to clean this up potentially. No, he's not. He's not going to be able to clean it up. All of the Minutemen going down, and I think that puts Mito in quite a dominating position. Also sending in intervention as well, so going to be having those reinforcing shipments from this village, most likely. This village right here. Going to be coming in, going to be laying some siege to the front, focusing down the military production buildings of Azamk, and I think that puts Azamk in a very difficult spot here. And I'd be suspecting he'd be calling it quits pretty darn soon, because at this point China is just so far ahead. I really don't know how Portugal catches back up to China at this point. And I can already feel Breeze just saying, you know, this game was over at Civ Select. This matchup is impossible to win. You know, A's never had a chance. He could have been the best player in the world, and he just never would have had a chance in this matchup. You know, even on a map like this where there's 6 whales, there's just not enough. It's just not enough. Now we've got conscription being called. And then we've got the halberdiers as well out on the front line. I don't know if it's going to be enough. We've also got the hand mortars. Villagers moving out in classic AZAMK style, looking to get some melee attacks onto the artillery, getting their butts in the action. Blunderbuss going down, going to be taking down that first hand mortar. But I don't think it's going to be enough. Mido doing very nice micro with the China. I love watching Mido as China. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm honestly feeling like I might be switching to China. China definitely feel like a great save. And now we've got the fusion coming in, and that's going to seal the deal for this town center. Deck needs spice trade, says AZAMK. A's, unfortunately, it's a little bit too late to be adding spice trade to your deck, and GG is called. And that's the end of the game. Well played to both players. Mido doing very, very well. Absolutely nice build from Mido, managing to keep up with the unit production there of A's and make it to the third age with China. So it all comes down to that first villager that he got out. The fact that he got 3 villagers out of the, or 4 villages, rather. We take a look at the villager population. We see that AZAMK did eventually eclipse Mido, but it took him a while because look at that shipment. That's a 4 villager shipment that comes out right there. It looks like 5, but it's actually 4 because the town center timed it as well. We take a look at the military unit population. So take a look at this. Mido is able to keep up with AZAMK with regard to military population despite aging. Despite aging, he's able to keep up with him. So very, very impressive. We see A's dropping down a hell of a lot as well. At the same time, Mido drops down. So that's that push in under the town center when they hit age 3. We'll take a look at resources gathered. Let's take a look. Going to be relatively even. A's is slightly ahead. We'll do the 10-minute comparison just to take a look and see a stock take. 10,700 versus 9,800. So within 1,000. And there it is. So congratulations to all those who bet on Mido that game, because Mido was successful. So we'll make sure we update his score. The Canadian going up 2-1. Are you guys ready for the 4th game? You know what we might do just before we get into the 4th game? We're going to load it up. We're going to have a look, but we're going to take a look just quickly at the chat from the last game. So I didn't actually know that you can do this. I found this out accidentally because I hit page up when I was trying to pause the game. So you guys are going to see the Civ select. You're going to see that, but we're going to press the page up and we're going to have a look. Mido saying, GG, I thought you were Fortress before me, lol, so I didn't push the choke because I fear Frigate. Ah, that explains it. Remember how he was moving up towards the north? Lol, I don't know why I thought that. Well, ports get access to age 3 cards in age 2. Out. Well-known fact. Oh, he's so cheeky, isn't he? He's so cheeky. All right, guys. Are you guys ready for the 4th game of this series? I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready, because we're about to get into it. We've got predictions, requests for predictions in the chat. If we could get some predictions, SimSimi X is asking for predictions. So let's do it. Actually, I'm going to do a prediction as well. I'm going to do a prediction. Let's get that one up. Now, I went with AZAMK the first time. Zetamango saying, yo, let's go. All right. Channel points, get your predictions in. We got a whole bunch of money that's going into the pool right now. We got Mido, we got AZAMK. So if you'd like to see this, these are closing in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So you better make sure that you get your money down right now. We've got a lot of predictions going towards AZAMK. We've got a bit going to Mido. I think I might put my hat in the ring just slightly. I don't know. In this matchup, I'm not too confident who's going to win. I'm a bit of a fan for Dutch. So maybe it's not a bad idea going for Dutch. I used to main Dutch. But I guess Inca as well. Inca are always an exciting civilization and looking incredibly even at the moment. 50-50 at the moment. This is incredible. 50-50 for these two players. So really, really cool to see. It's great to see that they're so close. Mido and AZAMK, definitely a true battle of wit here. All right, well, let's get into the next game. Ladies and gentlemen, let us do it. G'day, fellas. Welcome to the 4th game in the series between Mido and AZAMK. In this game, we've got Mido spawning in on the south of the map in his favourite colour, teal, playing the Dutch. And his opponent spawning in on the north of the map is AZAMK, who's playing the Inca. Now, he's going to be in the colour red because I've set him to red. I think he's probably playing on blue or something like that, but just to make it a little bit easier for us to see, I've changed it so that their colours are going to be around the right way. We've now got the Kancha house going down for A's in the very beginning. And moving out onto the map, we see he begins to strike down this Jaguar. picking up the Outlaw Blowgunner as his first conversion. Now, on this map, there are 8 llamas that spawn. These llamas spawn around each pond. So you've got 2 llamas that are spawning here, 2 llamas that are spawning here. We've got 2 llamas spawning here, and 2 llamas that spawned here that are now moving down. So if we take a look at the natives on this map, so we've got the Chupies that are your options. Now, I can't actually see their techs, but they do have a tech for bowmen. And so A's here is going to be making bowmen. And that is part of the reason probably why he's going for Chupies, because they've got an increase. I don't know exactly how much it is. I think it's a 20 or a 25% increase on archer attack. And so that archer attack is going to enable his jungle bowman to be doing an extra 25% damage. And so now it looks like, did A's miss these llamas? A's missed these llamas. So there was a couple of llama here. And I've got Harrison in the chat saying, hold Alt when you click on the native TP or settlement. I'm going to hold Alt. It doesn't, unfortunately, work. I think because my UI is around the other way, Harrison. I've had my map on the right-hand side. So for whatever reason, it's not working. So a fair amount of llamas now being picked up by Mito. If we take a look at Mito's perspective, we'll do a llama count. He's got every single llama. This is just typical lame Dutch stuff. 8 llamas he starts with. Now, keep in mind, A's actually started with a llama in his base. I'm not sure if he's eaten it yet. Has he eaten it yet? I think he's eaten it already. I normally like to use that llama to just do a little bit of scouting. Now, A's using his Kancha house to call the big button. So if we have a look, he's got 13 villagers at the moment. So he's called 4 villagers from that big button and sending in 300 cords of wood. We'll take a look at his deck and see what he's up to. But before that, we've got a little bit of a treasure contention coming in here. Mito going to potentially pick it up. Mito definitely taking the steal there. I'm pretty confident in saying that. Mito getting up the 100 food, managing to pull that away, being very, very cheeky. And A's unfortunately losing out on that 100 food. It definitely feels bad. We'll take a look back at Mito, see what he's up to. Mito going to be up very, very quickly, deciding to skip a villager and actually saying in the chat, love heart, because he got that extra 100 food. Remember that 100 food? He literally just stole it. He now gets the age up in queue. So going up with 14 villagers instead of going up with the standard 15, which is typical for the Dutch. He's now got his Explorer, going to be picking off. And now A's asking, now what am I going to eat, sad face? Oh, what's A's going to eat, guys? What's A's going to eat? He's going to eat coin, apparently. All right. Mito getting a nice little toxic pull trick right there, freeing his Explorer from the enemy Explorer. So the 14 villager age up is going to be extra, extra nice for Mito. And the reason why it's going to be so darn good for Mito is because he's got a villager already in queue after he ages up. So he doesn't have to worry about that extra 100 coin. It means he can just put his bank down straight away and never has to have any villagers on coin. Because normally you need to have, you need to shift a whole bunch of villagers over to coin. You need to make sure you've got enough coin for that first settler. But in addition to that, he's also going to be picking up a 40 coin treasure as well. So he's going to be dropping down that bank, and he's going to be absolutely fine when it comes to that kind of stuff. We actually see he's eating the llamas right now. So he's got 6 llamas left, each llama with about 100 food on it at the time of execution. Done a great job at discovering the map as well. We take a look at Azam's perspective. Going to be doing, let's have a look. He's got the beginner deck out. You love to see it. A's playing with the beginner deck. He's got the 2 town center travails, a lot of unit shipments in age 4. Now, these decks kind of, to me, look like a lot like Lakota decks. A lot of unit shipments in here. Got the Cloud Fortresses, couriers, reducing the train time, as well as Chincha Brewing. We'll take a look over at Mito's deck and see what he's got. He's got 1v1 Azamk and Food Silos. Bit of a weird one. As well as Swiss Pikes. He's got the 7 Reuter and the 7 Skirms. You don't always see the 7 Reuter, but they are included in this deck. Sometimes you do see the 1,000 coin in there instead. We've now got the age up happening. That villager is in. So he's going to move 2 villagers just over to coin. And now the Dutch bank is up and ready. So up and operational, up at 3 minutes 50. This is disgusting. He is up so early. He's going to have 7 banks up at 5 minutes. Oh, 7 banks up. He's going to have 7 banks up at 5 minutes. He's going to have 4 banks. Oh my god. I'm not too good at counting, guys. I apologize. Math was never my strong suit. But you know what? That is a lie. Math was my strong suit. I'm very good at maths. I'm just not very good at Age of Empires. We'll take a look back at Ace, see what he's up to. Looks like Ace is potentially going to be putting down a Tambo over here to the right-hand side. And with this Tambo, potentially going to be doing some sort of... I don't know whether I'd say Native Rush. You know what? I'm going to say Native Rush. This is almost the very common Inca strategy. But the thing is, I don't know if this is going to be working out against Dutch. Because Dutch... Now, you got to consider, Mito aged up really, really quick. Now 700 wood is coming down at 4 minutes 30. This isn't getting shipped at 7 minutes 30. At 4 minutes 30, rather. Why do I keep saying 7 minutes? I've got an obsession with the 7. Nice little cute wall going up here in front, protecting these trees, and as well as these banks. Second bank now coming up at 4 minutes 40. Bank wagon in queue as well. Third bank is about to get dropped down. He's got enough resources for it. This is a very crisp build order here from Mito. Looking really, really nice. Let's see if he drops down. There's that third bank coming down now with the first settler. Doing a little bit of a dance, as in classic Age of Empires 3 style. And a little bit of a tussle at the north here. I'm not sure who actually got the treasure. Oh, sorry, that's me pausing the game. Mito discovering with a 70 wood treasure here. So I'm not sure if he stole that treasure or whether he managed to pick it up. I was too focused on his build order. We'll take a look at Aze's perspective. Aze sending the 600 wood from the home city. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. And sending through the Plumed Spearman. 5 minutes 17. So pretty early that they're getting in here. The Chasqui doing a little bit of harassment on that settler. That market does actually go up, though. And a very, very nice front that he's got here. Really, really nice walls that he's got. I'm curious. It doesn't look like there's actually a hole between these banks. That looks sealed tight. So very, very nice hole. We've got a very, very nice wall. Oh no! Don't clip me, guys. Please don't clip me on that one. Explorer being chased down. Poor Oliver getting chased down right now. The Plume Spearmen are going to be able to do it, but we see all 4 banks going down before. What they must have been all down at 5 minutes. But you know the worst part, he's probably got enough wood in base or in store to get another one. We've now got 5 skirmishers being trained, as well as 600 wood on the way. And the Kancher houses are going up. So A's behind this, doing a bit of a boom as well. So 9 Kancher houses in total down. So almost like a little bit of a British boom here. Then we've got, so just repetitive 600 resources. So this is going to be the next 600. So 300, 600, 600. Very, very creative shipments from Ace. And we actually see, I don't know whether this is bugging, because we know he sent 300 wood to begin with. We know he sent 600 wood again. I think this must be the second time he sent 600 wood. So it's bugging out a little bit. Ace, you might need to fix that one up. And lovely walls coming up from Mito. I love this. You know, one of the things I talk about as Dutch is you need to think about it like the pocket. All right? Your base is the pocket. You want to create a pocket in your base. And this is a nice pocket that no one's going to hurt you. No Hussars are going to hurt you. No Chimu runners are going to hurt you. And what you can do is you can like turn this into a wall. And if Chimu runners come in behind the wall, look at this. This is toxic. I love it. This is just absolutely perfect. EGC TV coming in with the link. Nice hole right there. Thanks, EGC TV. You hate to see it. And now the 5th bank going down for Mito at 7 minutes. So pretty nice build order. 10 skirmishes, the 5 banks, really leveraging the power of this treasure steal. It's amazing to me, honestly. It is so amazing to me, the fact that this can change a game so much. It can change the speed of a game, the pace of a game. A swing like that, that's a 200 food swing, is so big. And that's where treasures are really, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you don't really get that in Age of Empires 2. You don't get that sort of RNG. I mean, you get RNG when it comes to like hunts. Or when I say hunts, I mean like livestock, the sheep, the way that they spawn. You can always get, you know, interesting spawns when it comes to sheep and stuff like that. But for Age of Empires 3, it's a bit more with like the treasures is sort of where the imbalances are sort of lay in the early game. Skirmish is doing a great job, matching up very, very well against the Jungle Bowman. They've got a 16 range versus 20 range, so a 4 range bonus on the skirmishers. Going to be putting out a lot more DPS than Aze's Jungle Bowman. We take a look at Aze, see what he's up to. He's up to 13 Kancher houses at the moment, sending in that 700 coin as well, so could potentially be looking to go to the Fortress Age behind this. I know that I would be. I think if I was playing in Aze's perspective right now, I would be going Fortress Age, and I'd be doing a Chimu Runner timing, but it looks like he's actually going to be doing a Chimu Runner timing in the 2nd Age instead. So we take a look back at Mito. Mito's actually got the Exiled Prince in queue already, so going to be going up 5 banks in under 9 minutes. Very, very posh. But very nice. So religious freedom coming out now as well. So do we see a church? No church getting laid down just yet, but he is moving villages. Actually, I take that back. There's a church on the back line. This build order is incredibly well refined. Mito is just an absolute beast. We can see he's gathering a lot of coin as well. So going to be calling Stradiots, most likely. Could also be sending the 5 Huss with the Stradiots. That's what I would like to see from him. Reach that 2nd age, send the 5 Huss. And now we've got the Chimu Runners coming in from behind. Chimu Runner's going to be doing a little bit of a tactical play. Mito's going to be having to get a quick wall down. Let's see if he can get the segment in time. Is he going to be able to do it? He's thinking about it. He's smelling it. There goes the quick wall, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it down in time. The Chimu Runners are now all on top of the skirmishers. Skirmishers going to need to get through a wall or a gate over here, but there's not enough wood to be able to call it. Villagers now moving inside the town center. 5 skirmishes, 4 skirmishes. Skirmishes moving down. The church is up. He's going to need to sell resources to be able to buy the Stratiots, but the Stratiots aren't going to be... He gets enough for the resources. He cancelled the villagers, and still he's having a little bit of trouble. He's trying to do his best to pick off the Plume Spearmen. We take a look back at Ace's perspective. We see that he's still got 4 Plume Spearmen. Should be enough to clean this up, though, when the Stratiots come in. Probably going to have to delete this wall. We take a look at Mito's perspective. Here come the Stratiots. 3, 2, 1. Boom, there they are. And now the Stratiots are going to get out. Look at them running around. This one running in particular, trying to get over on top of the archers. At this point, you just really want to be... I'd be getting your villagers out here, get them amongst the action. You just want to try and split up that damage as much as possible. Really, really nice timing here from Ace. Absolutely picking his window perfectly. Not managing to let that wall get up, and the Stratiots are doing a little bit of cleanup. Only 4 Stratiots remain. If I remember correctly, it is actually a 5 Stratiot shipment. And now we've got the next shipment coming in from Mito. We'll take a look and see what he sends. It is the 9 Reuters that gets sent in from the home city. And going to have 14 villagers locked up inside this town center with 4 of them moving out now. Just keeping 6 in the back there. Just to make sure that... or 6 rather. Just keeping 10 in there. Just to make sure that they're getting maximum damage out. But now this villager probably going to be going down as... Oh, very, very sneaky. Let's see if he can sneak one more villager out. He goes for it. He goes for the sneak. It goes... He gets it. He gets it up. He gets the house up. All right, he doesn't lose a villager, and he doesn't lose a house. He does very, very well. I would have committed to the house there. I would have lost a villager, probably. Probably would have lost 6 villagers, and we actually saw that the Chimera runners are able to get through this little hole here. I guess the primary difference is that there were villagers there last time. So the church now going down. This church not really presenting much of an economic threat, only really allowing sort of experience to get brought in. And now we take a look from Mito's perspective, see how many jungle bowmen there are. There's only 6 jungle bowmen now, so these Reuters are going to be able to do some work on the front line. Really deal with this mass of Azams quite effectively. When we see the score lead now beginning to burgeon quite significantly. We've got a 5,000 point score lead. Now keep in mind, Dutch does over-score a little bit. I would say that typically, your Dutch players are going to always be ahead in score just a little bit. It doesn't mean that they're ahead in the game. So I would say that this score lead, probably a bit closer, maybe about 3,000 score lead would be a bit more reasonable. But we take a look at Mito, or at Azam. Look at his macro. He's got 18 villagers on wood right now. Some Stratiots now moving towards the base of Mito, towards the base of Azam. Looks like they're going to be heading underneath the town center. There's a villager stuck on berries here. Let's see if he picks that one up. All of the villagers going into the town center. This one definitely going to be going down. It's going to get 4 shot by the Stratiots. Not sure if it's got its great coats. I don't think it actually does, because if it did, it would take probably 5 or 6 shots for it to go down. So keep in mind, even though they've got 56 damage, the villagers have got melee resist. These villagers are melee resisting villagers, so they technically are a little bit nicer. And look at the beautiful layout from this base. If you were ever... Oh my god, big pickup over here now from Mito. Mito doing absolute work with these Stratiots. Really showing why it's so important. Oh, this Stratiot's got 6 HP. This Stratiot is going to be going down for sure. Stratiot does go down. He probably could have taken it out with a villager. Manages to save 1 villager. We're at 25 villagers now for Azamk versus 24 for Mito and 5 banks. But keep in mind the 5 banks are up against the 13 cancer. So let's do a bit of quick math, okay? 13 times 0.9. So you're looking at about, what is it? About 11.5? I think that'd be reasonable. About 11.5 food a second. And now we compare that to Mito. We see how much coin is he on. He's on 5 banks. Now they gather at 2.75. So let's times that by 5, 10, and then 0.75, times that one by 5. So we're looking at about, what, 4.25, is that right? So 14.25. So it's about 14.25 gold versus the 10.5 gold of the canchers. So, or 10.5 food per second. Or 11.7. We've actually got the numbers right now in chat. We've got 13.875 versus 11.7. So both civilizations, I would say that they're a lot closer than they seem. But with the Dutch being slightly ahead, obviously the Dutch player also being in the Fortress Age as well at this point. We do not have that recalculated UI that we grew so accustomed to in the Age of Empires, the original game. And now we've got Swiss Pikes coming in. Here we go. So let's get to it. So still no stable yet for the for Azam, or for Mito rather, at this stage. And he's fighting against 2 Jaguars with his full HP Explorer. That should be fine. Still just wreaking havoc out on the map with the Ward Gelders. No real response to this. Even once he gets to the 3rd age, not going to have a real response to this because he's got no Dragoon units to sort of chase them around. Swiss Pikes are probably going to call the end of Azamk, I would suspect. Because, if there's one thing that Azamk respects, it's the Pikey. He is a big fan of the Pikey. And to me, this kind of looks like these are the king of the Pikey. I wouldn't be surprised if right now if he just spots these and he just calls it GG, because like, what are you going to do against Swiss Pikes? Got some Chimmy Runners now, and Chimmy Runners just unfortunately don't fare very well against Swiss Pikes. I wouldn't. Are they getting like? They must be getting like 2-shot, 3-shot by Swiss Pikes. It would be disgusting. It would be brutal. Couple of ward with the Stradiates now in the back line, almost getting caught out. This one's down to 12 HP, going to get taken out by the Plume Spearman. Now Aze knows that at this point he's unable to fight, but look at the Chimmy Runners that he's got. He's got huge masses of Chimmys. He's got 28 Chimmys, and this is terrible for Aze because 28 Chimmys, that's a massive investment. He has got 27 Chimmys out on the field, but his opponent's got Swiss Pikes. Those two are going to have to meet in battle one day. And when they do meet in battle, it's going to be a terrible day for the Chimmy Runners because they're going to get absolutely shredded. These Swiss Pikes have got 30% melee resist on top of an already huge amount of attack and bonus. Really, really nice play by Mido. A lot of foresight here. This is a really good option for him. A really great shipment in this position, honestly. I feel like this is better than Reuters, honestly. If... yeah, I'm really impressed by the call to send Swiss Pikes here. All right, and at this point, a little bit of a lull happens. We've got the 5 Hussar that are going to be coming out. A single Tambo remains up on the field. Now, Mido's lost a few villages down here to the south. Azam saying in the chat, do you mind sharing some of that score with me? Yeah, it's only about 8k score difference. Don't worry, Az. It's no biggie. It's no biggie. Mido says yes, he does. Looks like Mido's going to go to his base and help him out with some of that score, it seems. He's unfortunately frowning. You know, I've really got to wonder if the game would have gone differently if it wasn't for that 100 food treasure. That 100 food treasure just changes everything. And now we see we see the Plume Spearman just standing on the front line like, wait a minute, you're not my allies. And then they just start hitting them. They were like standing completely still. They must have been on hold ground or something. But I'm curious if we could have seen that. If we could have seen, you know, what the game would unfold like if Aze had got that 100 food treasure. Because Mido would have been up 25 seconds slower. Mido's, all of his banks are up 25 seconds slower. Aze is up faster now because of that. His rush hits faster. His timing hits faster. You know, the ward gelders don't clean everything up. He's able to, you know, really solidify that. And it really just comes now down to the fact that there's so much siege in this army. We've got the 11 Swiss Pikes. Aze is not in a position to age up. It kind of looked like he wanted to age up, but it just looks like he's not going to be able to. And the Chimmy Runner's now sitting on the back line. I think Aze is probably a little bit defeated at this point and just really not knowing what to do. Now, he can try his best to micro these out. These Jungle Bowmen are going to be more than enough to deal with the Swiss Pikes, but the issue that he's got is that his Chimmy Runners are all the other way in his opponent's base. See, there's some reinforcements going to get picked up here potentially by Azamk. 7k score lead. Now the villagers are getting popped out. He's doing his best to just throw out some damage. Say, stop burning my town center. I need my bowmen. And finally they go down. The Chimmy Runners coming in as well. Looks like we're setting up for a battle. And the Chimmy Runners are on top of the Hussars. Swiss Pikes in the back, dealing with the villagers. They want to be on top of the Chimmy Runners. This is what Aze wants if he wants to win. Now the Swiss Pikes are moving through. Keep your eye on the Swiss Pikes. Hussars in the back. A huge mass of Hussars. 10 Hussars coming in from the south now. Reinforcements. We've still got that shipment. The 6 Jungle Bowmen coming in on the way. There is a reinforcing war hut that is going to be here. But the main issue is the Swiss Pikes have been able to clean up the Chimmy Runners. And the Hussars are going to be able to clean up the Jungle Bowmen. And I suspect that that's going to call the end of this series with Azamk losing 3-1 to Mido. Congratulations to Mido. Very well played by him.